The Frenzy Barbarian has a massive reputation, incredible single target damage, but a bad habit of getting completely surrounded by dense crowds while standard mercenaries get left in the dust or instantly shredded. In this video, we are fixing all of that. Whether you're a veteran or just starting out, I'm going to show you how to maintain maximum supersonic clearing speed while utilizing a high survival hireling setup that locks down the battlefield and lets you shred packs piece by piece. Welcome to Onshift Gaming. Today, we are diving deep into the character you just saw in action, my endgame Frenzy Barbarian. I've been putting in the work on him for about a month, along with my 3 other characters. And while the charms still have a long way to go, the core gear setup is fully online and absolutely best in slot. He is incredibly strong in his own right, and today I'm going to show you exactly how it all comes together. And the absolute best place to start is right here in the skill trees. Now, instead of just showing you a finished endgame layout that tells you nothing about the actual journey, we need to talk about the skill progression up to level 30 first. Managing your points early on is where most barbarian players completely hit a wall. So let's break down the exact logic behind this level 30 setup. Frenzy unlocks at level 24, so before that, we put in 1 point to the prerequisite skills. However, it is still not enough as we have more points lying around, so we'll put 10 more to Sword Mastery. Once Frenzy is available, pump the next 5 points into it and save some skill points from the quest to put 1 skill point in Warcry, Battle Command, Natural Resistance, and Berserk. But what happens once you push past level 30 and head into the endgame? From this point forward, you want to max out your core skills in a very specific order to ensure your damage and survivability scale perfectly together. First, you are going to max out Frenzy to get your damage, attack speed, and movement speed to their absolute peak. Second, you move straight to Double Swing. Not because you're using it anymore, but because it provides a massive direct synergy damage boost to Frenzy. Third, max out battle orders to ensure your health and mana pools are massive enough to survive hell difficulty crowds. Fourth, you finish maxing out your sword mastery to lock down your critical strikes and maximize your hit chance. And finally, you dump all your remaining points into Taunt to fully scale its synergy bonus and maximize your overall damage output. Now, some of you might be looking at this layout and ask, where is Find Item? If you're wondering about horking, don't worry, I got you. We'll tackle exactly how that fits into this build in our gameplay showcase section. But for now, let's focus on the stats. The main stats of the Barbarian are Strength, Dexterity if you're going to use a sword, and in this particular build, we are of course using it, and lastly, Vitality. Don't worry about min-maxing your stats just yet. Aim for 120 Strength and 120 Dexterity for now, and put all the rest of your points into Vitality. We will respect these stats later at Akara once we got all of our best in-slot equipment and unique charms like the Annihilus and the Barbarian Torch. With this initial setup, you will be able to equip most of the best gears along the way without any problems. Once your stats are set, let's head straight into the gears you need to aim for. Starting with the weapons, our primary setup is Grief and Death, and our swap weapon setup for specific situations is Grief and Lawbringer. Since this is a Frenzy Barbarian, we absolutely must get the best weapon bases for our rune words. For Grief and Lawbringer, the absolute best weapon base is the Face Blade. It is the fastest melee weapon in the game and is inherently indestructible, meaning you'll never have to worry about repair costs. For the Death rune word, we want the Ethereal Colossus Sword. Don't get confused here, there is also a Colossus Blade, but we do not want that. We want the Colossus Sword. The Death rune word automatically grants the weapon indestructible bonus. Because of this, we can safely use an ethereal version which cannot be repaired, giving us a massive 50% damage boost over a regular weapon base without any risk of it breaking. So, why these 3 specific weapons? Let's start with Grief. Grief grants a massive fixed damage to the weapon, on top of increased attack speed, ignore target's defense, enhanced damage to demons based on your level, and 20% deadly strike. If that doesn't sound awesome to you, I don't know what is. Next is the Lawbringer. It has a 20% chance to cast Decrepify, but the most important is its Sanctuary Aura. It grants enhanced damage to undead, renders the physical immunity of the undead class useless, and it knocks them back regularly. And finally, the Death Runeward. This weapon grants a 50% chance of crushing blow and deadly strike bonus based on your level. Now for the armors and accessories, we have a jammed Aryat's Face. Aryat's Face gives us a bunch of skills and bonuses such as faster hit recovery, life leech, 20 strength and dexterity, and bonus on all resistances. Socketing a jam here will allow you to skip the Raven Frost ring, giving that ring slot over to a much better ring. For the body armor, we have the Fortitude Rune Ward in an Archon plate. It gives us 300% enhanced damage along with a life bonus and all resistances. We want the Rune Ward to be in an Archon plate as a base because it is a light armor and doesn't have the run speed penalty. For the belt, we use Nosferatu's Coil because it gives increased attack speed, life leech, and decent strength. For the gloves, we have Laying of Hands. We want the 350% enhanced damage to demons, which is massive since most of the enemies and all the act bosses are classified as demons. And we also get 20% increased attack speed. For the boots, we run Gore Rider. The Gore Rider gives us 15% chance of crushing blow and deadly strike, along with 30% faster movement. Moving on to the accessories, for the amulet, we're using High Lord's Wrath, which gives us +1 to all skills, 20% increased attack speed, and most importantly, another deadly strike bonus based on your level. For the rings, we're using the Bulkatos Wedding Band, which gives us +1 to all skills, as well as life leech and additional life based on your level. And finally, we round it all out with a rare dual leech ring. So once you have all of that equipment along with Barbarian Torch and Annihilus, you can respect your stats and skills and only get the required strength and dexterity to equip your gears, and then put all the remaining points into vitality. Lastly, once you start hunting in the cow level or uber levels, you may want to swap your Aryat's Face with the Guillaume's Face to get that additional 35% crushing blow. This grants you a total of 100% chance of crushing blow when it is combined from your death, which is 50%, and another 15% from the Gore Rider. But on regular levels, Aryat's Face is still better. Before we jump into the gameplay showcase, let's talk about the ultimate supporting partner for this build. The hireling I recommend for the Frenzy Barbarian is the Act 1 Cold Arrow Rogue. By running the Cold Rogue, you get an elite ranged support who can freeze entire groups of enemies from a safe distance, giving your Frenzy Barbarian more than enough time to sprint in and shred them to pieces. Because she stays back at range, her survival rate is incredibly high compared to traditional melee mercenaries, allowing her to safely output significant glass cannon damage. For her gears, we equip her with Mist Runeward on a matriarchal bow. This is the secret sauce on this setup. It grants us a high-level concentration aura, which delivers a massive physical enhanced damage multiplier straight to our Frenzy Barbarian, while giving her arrows a 100% chance to pierce through enemy packs. For her helm, we use a Rald Andariel's Visage to give her increased attack speed and life leech, while completely negating the helm's negative fire resistance. Finally, for her body armor, we use Treachery. This gives her an even greater boost to her attack speed and introduces a chance to trigger Fade, which instantly jacks up her physical and elemental resistances by a massive margin whenever she takes a hit. Now, let's take this build out into the field so you can see exactly how it performs. Before jumping into any fight, we always kick things off with our pre-buff routine. We cast Battle Command to raise all of our skill levels, followed by Battle Orders for that massive life and mana spike, and wrap it up with Shout to jack our defense through the roof. First up, we're tracking down the act bosses to showcase the power of the Death Runeward. Watch how quickly the health bar melts here. That's the 50% chance on crushing blow and scaling deadly strike doing the heavy lifting. Bosses simply cannot stand against this kind of single target pressure. Next, we're swapping over to our Lawbringer setup and heading into Arcane's Sanctuary. This zone can be a nightmare for physical builds, but notice how the ghosts and undead class enemies are getting ripped apart. The Sanctuary aura completely shatters their physical immunities and regularly knocks them back, turning a dangerous zone into an absolute walk in the park. Once you encounter physical immunes or stone skins that are not undead, swap your skill to Berserk to convert 100% of your physical damage to magic. Also, keep an eye out for those annoying monsters that constantly heal or revive their allies. The moment you see them, splash a quick taunt. This forces them to stop casting, breaks their AI, and makes them run straight into your blades to get melted. And here's a massive survival tip for dealing with those bone flayers, the ones that explode and instantly pop your health bar on death. Instead of blindly swinging into a pack, simply drop a howl. This instantly sends the surrounding minions fleeing in terror, allowing you to leave the area if you don't want to kill them, or you can isolate them and pick them off safely one by one without getting caught in a chain explosion. If you do mess up your positioning and find yourself completely surrounded or trapped in a bad corner, don't panic, just use your Warcry skill. This dishes out a reliable area of effect stun, freezing every enemy around you dead in their tracks, so you can comfortably reposition, heal up, or safely carve through the crowd. And if it gets too much or you need an instant out, use your leap. It functions as the perfect shortcut to jump over gaps and obstacles, or an absolute emergency escape tool when being surrounded becomes too overwhelming to fight through. And finally, let's address that question from earlier. Where does Find Item fit in? For this, we head straight to Trafingo. Once the High Council is cleared, we switch to our swap weapons, two Heart Carver daggers. This gives us a massive boost to our Find Item skill. Watch the ground closely as we start horking these corpses. This is how you maximize your efficiency, squeeze double the loot out of every single run, and secure those high runes. And that is how you build a truly unstoppable Frenzy Barbarian. From the early level 30 blueprint straight to cracking open physical immunities and horking high runes in Trafinco. This character can absolutely do it all. So, are you going to run the primary grief and death setup, or do you prefer a different weapon combination for your endgame farming? Let me know down in the comments. And if this guide helped you out or saved you from ruining a high tier rune word base, make sure to drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel for more deep dives and full completionist build guides. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.